Mr. President, is it important that people be afraid of you? Fear.
Yes.
Hello and welcome. I'm Maria Ressa.
Maria Ressa carries the torch of press freedom in a country held in thrall by a populist president.
It started with the drug war.
Do not do drugs because I will kill you.
His administration with the drug list.
This is the drug industry of the Philippines.
He showed everyone a list. People on that list started dying.
I'm telling the Filipino people it's gonna be bloody.
We demanded the government be held accountable.
Duterte was annoyed by our reporting.
You are a fake news outlet. They will be allowed to criticize us, but you go to jail for your crime.
We started getting attacked on social media. The government created disinformation networks, so people have no idea what the truth is. I was getting an average of 90 hate messages per hour.
We don't even know whether we can trust the police to protect us.
Just because you're a journalist na ito, you're exempted from assassination.
We didn't even realize how dangerous it is for you.
Why are you crying?
Because I'm scared for you.
Maria Ressa has been arrested.
The charges against Ressa were aimed at intimidating those who challenged Duterte's rule.
If I fall, I stand up, break these walls.
So why should you care about what happens in the Philippines? They test the tactics of how to manipulate America in our country. If it works, they port it over to the rest of the world.
Ressa was one of 4 journalists named as Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Maria won't be afraid. I'm afraid for her.
What we're seeing is death by 1,000 cuts. Little cuts of Philippine democracy. We will not duck. We will not hide. We will hold the line.
Social media become a huge impact when it comes to sharing insights or opinion to one another publicly. It became an intensive decision when everyone on the social media sites, especially the trolls that I've watched, they joined in force. I even saw that when there's a majority civilian or trolls, people more likely to believe them without even fact-checking. Because if you oppose one of these people or civilian who is against Rappler, they will attack you too. So it will definitely turns out that Rappler will more likely to be seen as bad social media outlet. And of course, I even observed that when you were a man who have a strong voice or authoritative voice, you'll more likely to be seen as intimidating. Just like the video on the documentary where they curse and bad-mouthing the Rappler and Maria Ressa. So it turns out some followers will be convinced because they were afraid to be bad-mouthed too and attacked. They are surveilling each other, Rappler and this trolls. Rappler can track you by just you putting hashtags on your posts and even for their reactions, shares and comments. It's very easy to see if your post is publicly shared.
The second takeaway is all about the failed and anti-poor war on drugs implemented by the Duterte's administration. Drugs are not uncommon in urban areas of the Philippines, but the number of lives affected by the bloody war is innumerable. As we remembered, President Rodrigo Duterte was elected on promises to be a champion of the poor and to reduce the persistent inequality that has marked the Philippines, but an industry of murder is thriving at the expense of the urban poor. The war on drugs operation by the Duterte's administration is a total failure. Why? Because it's clear that they only targeted the poor, and the ones who are in lower level are the users and pushers. But the drug lords and the ones who make the big mess is out there living and enjoying the luxurious life.
Maria Ressa, a well-known journalist in the Philippines that been awarded a Nobel Prize for her documentary entitled Thousand Cats, has a lot of stories to tell. So press freedom is what she is promoting, but with the upsurge of the administration's ruling by our President Rodrigo Duterte administration. So a lot of incidents happened, especially to the journalism field, wherein journalists are being silenced in the form of killing. So a lot of journalists are being killed by this administration. So the documentary is undeniably an eye-opener for everyone with regards to the one of the main issues in the country. So freedom of the press. So this is become an avenue to let other people know the truth as well as the lies that divide people. So I do believe that the purpose of journalism is to let the truth prevail, and I admire Maria Ressa for not turning blind eye on the issue, but courageously stand for what she believes and what is right despite the risk of being condemned by the government, especially the president. So freedom is a power, so do not let this be taken away from you. That's all. Thank you.